Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Same thing, different day,
Mm-hmm.
as usual. Uh, how are the kids doing?
They're good. They've been super busy with schoolwork, and it's like Christmas break coming up soon, so
That is true. Yeah.
yeah.
Got to get with the holidays.
Yeah.
Have you, by any chance, I know last week, we talked about more with like reaching out to people like your sister and your best friend and even your grandparents. Have you done that at all?
I actually reached out to my best friend, and we just like caught up, and she told me about like what she's been going through, and I've been telling her like everything that I've been going through about these meetings and how helpful they've been, and it was just like really good like reaching out to one another and rekindling that friendship again.
Right, that's good. Not haven't you haven't talked to your sister or your grandparents or anything recently
I'm still
either.
working up the courage to talk to my sister.
So the purpose of this meeting today is more to like discuss further into our plans. I know we had talked a few weeks ago about what to start with and where to go. Have you looked into what was it, the literacy and learning success program that I mentioned to you about?
I have not been able to because I just forgot the name of it, but I definitely will do that.
It was my apologies. I don't think I gave you like the number or the place. So I definitely will do that after today's meeting. The reason why I think it'd be best to start with that, and if there's any issues with it, feel free to cut me off. Uh, the program actually it helps you uh, with your reading and writing skills that you say you struggle with, and it also helps you pursue your GED if that's something you're interested in doing. I know we did talk a little bit about it last week on not last week but a few weeks ago about doing, uh, and they also can help you do a resume. So that'll help you definitely once you're ready to start looking for jobs.
Okay.
Do you have any questions or anything about this so far?
So what are like the hours of like going to this? Just because I think what would work best for me is the hours that my kids are in school, and like maybe even like a little bit after they're out of school, just so I can like still see them and still like be like a mom and be around and whatnot.
Most definitely. This is kind of a program that where you set up your own hours. They even, if you do have like a cell phone or like a computer at home, you can also you can also do it from home with them.
Okay.
So you don't always have to go to the program itself to like learn there. You can do it from your home as well.
All right.
So it's kind of like a build your own schedule type of thing with them.
Mhm.
So it's something you would just have to call and further ask them about what works best with you.
All right. And then is there any kind of like payment for it or?
As far as I know, there's no payment required for it. It's just making an account and signing up. I can look more into seeing if there is a payment or not. That or once you call, you can ask about it. Then I'll try and find something else if the payment doesn't work for you. But yeah. Uh, any questions?
I think I'm good for right now.
All right. So we'll start looking into that more definitely after today's meeting. Right. And as well, with your GED, have you ever, I know you say you like to do painting a lot. Have you ever considered like, you know, going to like a trade school or like doing like a community college once you get your GED? Because I know there are places you can once you have a GED.
I always thought about it, but I'd never thought it would be like realistic enough to do it. But it would always be something that like I would hope to maybe get to do, but never actually thought I would be like pursuing it.
Oh, no worries. Even with that, there's also another intervention that I found. This one, it unfortunately requires that you are pursuing an education. It's called the Mom's House of Lancaster. Once we figure out if, going to a trade school or doing a college is something you really want to do,
Mhm.
we can definitely start getting you set up with them. They, their information, they provide things like child support, uh, support groups for anything. Even with that, once you're in that program, I think the only requirement that you have to do on the side is like 3 service hours a week with them. Uh, but overall, it's a very good, interesting program. So if you are interested in going to like, building your education even more, definitely we can get you started with that program. Is there any questions?
I don't think so for right now.
All right. I did also look into, I looked more further into, things like assisted living. I did find a place. Currently, you have to make an account. We really don't have to get into this right now, more further down the line. I know we're not quite there yet once you get a job and everything. I have looked into websites, there's a website called Indeed to help you find jobs that requires just a GED. If by any chance you just want to pursue the GED, then get started with the job, or just not do the GED at all and then go into the job. Is there any questions, like specifically like what you want to steer more towards?
As like job wise?
Yes.
I think part-time would work best just so I could like still do the programs, still be a mom, still have like also like my own time to like debrief from everything.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm thinking more maybe like a part-time job for right now, and then once I get all that like figured out and settled down, then switch over to like full-time.
All right. All right. So that works. That works well with me. Whatever works for you, I can manage. Uh, so I think so. The start of it, we can look into that literacy. That literacy intervention. I will send you or give you information more about that. And then once we go through there, we can decide whether or not if you want to study for your GED. Clearly up to you. After that, then it's steering between either pursuing higher education or starting your job already or starting a job. Uh, and then once we go from there, we can then learn about like other issues that arise and everything.
All right, sounds good.
Right? So is that all for you? Or not all for you, but is there any other questions you'd like to ask me?
No, I think I'm good for today. Thank you.
All right, no problem. I will get this information to you as soon as, this is over. All right.